everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bill Has Opinions, the drinking show with a Halloween problem. I'm a pineapple, and I'm here with this alien.
Nanu.
This alien has opinions.
Yeah.
I understand.
I'm Xenu, and I have opinions.
That is the most ridiculous mask.
All right, well, that's enough of that. That's all I'm going to wear it for.
Well, I mean, it is a tiny mask.
It is a tiny mask for a tiny person. I picked this up on the way over here at the dollar store. I thought it was funny. Thought I'd wear it for a moment.
It was indeed funny.
And it was a good moment.
But you were otherwise dressed spoofily. So.
I did wear my spooky fineries.
Are you spooktacular?
Yeah, we could say that. It's spooktacular is one of those words that gets overused, though. One of those marketing terms.
Yeah.
I've been to things that are, and I think I'm probably repeating myself, which I realize I do now. I've been to things that claim to be spooktacular that were merely I don't know.
Oh shit! We did have this. We actually had this bit before, and we had a whole list of things that were like the equivalent of mediocre, but I don't remember what it was. I would recommend you go watch that again. Yeah, go watch Halloween episode.
But do it after this.
Yeah, no, don't switch over now. Stay watching.
Stay on us for now. But
because do you want to split before we do beers? Do you want to split this fancy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were. Yeah, right. Let's do that.
Well, real quick here. Let me finish this. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm doing quite well today. Yeah, I had a good weekend. Drove up into the Parkway on the weekend, which that's spooky, right? Because oh my god, the traffic.
That's true. During leaf season, you are a brave man.
Oh my gosh! But I went past Graveyard Fields and I went all the way to Devil's Courthouse, and
both are very spooky.
Yeah, I guess so. But Graveyard Fields, as you well know, is like there's no getting in there. I mean, and this is the funny part about Graveyard Fields. I got a parking ticket there several years ago. When they switched the parking situation there, because people, used to park all the way down the road,
right?
And then they made it so that's illegal now.
Yes,
it's not stopping anybody.
No,
they made loads of money off parking tickets this weekend. Let me put it that way. And it's technically past peak, I think, up there. But it was still beautiful. Sure. It was still beautiful, and I had a good time. And me and my son went up there, and we went for a hike, and went up Devil's Courthouse and surveyed everything, and and then we went to Waynesville for a minute and had some lunch, and took some pictures here and there. Oh, I saw a woolly worm.
Yeah, I saw your picture of the woolly worm.
Yeah, I meant to go back and figure out what his prediction for winter was.
Black, so he was dark brown, right?
But with a black head.
That's true.
It's the position of the black and the brown that tell you are supposed to tell you some sort of prediction for winter. However, the same year I've seen multiple woolly worms with different patterns. So that just goes to show you how unscientific that crap is.
My neighbor up in Marshall found a woolly worm that was like all light green. Yeah. Like apparently we're never having snow.
There's no winter
There's no winter at all whatsoever. All right. No, my weekend was good. We went and I went and bought some beer.
Oh, so nice. Where's this from?
Well, it's actually from the bottle shop in West Asheville, whatever that's called.
Okay.
But it's a Bramari Halloween beer. It's their pumpkin beer. It is the Horror Business Imperial Pumpkin a la Mode Stout.
Awesome. So here's the thing. Here's a funny story. I saw this and immediately thought of the punk band The Misfits.
Oh yeah. So
however, they actually appropriated this logo from an old horror movie.
Right.
I can't remember what it was, like Crimson Ghost or something, I think it was called. I don't remember. So anyway, I guess I don't know whether it is or isn't in public
domain.
Yeah, that. Or whether it just doesn't matter because
nobody cares
once you've
anymore.
stolen it, it's stolen.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. But so I love Halloween because it's the one time of year I can use my spooky Halloween mugs or my taster glasses. So that's awesome. So cheers, and let's see what this thing tastes like. Oh. It's it's super pumpkin, like right on the palate, like
super pumpkin and
sweet as fuck.
Yeah, and very imperial.
Which
I've mentioned several times before. While I really like dark beers, I don't really love imperials because they just go overboard, kind of.
This is no joke imperial. This is a 10.5. So we bought this with the intention we'd split it, and I did steal one. We bought two. I stole one with the intention of giving you half. So if Matt's worried about
you could have gave me a quarter of it.
Yeah, well, that's true. If Matt's worried about it, I promise he doesn't want more than half of one of these.
Oh yeah. No.
I will finish this.
He can come in here and drink half of mine now if he wants.
He can come take it. We has to go get us pizzas.
I know. He doesn't need to drink it right now.
He does not. But
it'll be better when it's warm.
Delicious.
Nothing like
we actually got a different pumpkin stout from a different brewery, actually from Dissolver. And we had it on Sunday night when we got home. Or Saturday night when we got home. And it was, that one was... It was also really sweet. So they're making these cake, like these super desserty ones.
I had a pumpkin. It was a pumpkin latte porter the other day from Sycamore out of Charlotte.
Yeah. I'm familiar.
It's okay.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing, brewers. Here's what I want to tell you. I love pumpkin beers, and I think stouts hold up to pumpkin beers really, really well. You don't need to then make a pie a la mode or a cake. Like it can just be a regular like a porter, like what you're drinking right now, with pumpkin spices and pumpkin.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be delicious. You don't need to go overboard.
The best one I think this year the one I liked the most was the one of the Elysians. Elysian has a whole box with I think 4 different Halloween beers.
Yeah, we've been looking for that box. We couldn't find it.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember where I even saw it when I first grabbed it. Oh, I got it at Publix is where I got it at.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Jay bought one.
Up in Michigan
after he saw me get it. Yeah, and I talked up whichever one I talked up. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I don't know because they have a bunch.
Oh, it
of
was the great pumpkin. That was the best one in the box. Although the other ones he said were all really good, but that was the best one.
Right.
So Elysian Great Pumpkin, so far this year, that one's the winner of the best pumpkin beer of the year.
Yeah, no, you aren't gonna finish this, I can imagine, but I will finish this. But it's just so sweet. It's cloyingly sweet.
Yeah. You know what? When I get halfway done with my porter, maybe I'll just dump it in there and then it'll kind of thin it out a little.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
A black and tan.
Like a black and tan, but it'll be a pumpkin in black.
Pumpkin and black bomb for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so this show, in case you're wondering, because next week Monday is actual Halloween.
Yeah.
So we won't have a show that day because we're doing Halloween things.
So
we're doing our Halloween show today. We have done Halloween shows in the past, but we got some fun things planned for you today that even Bill doesn't know about. But in the meantime, while we normally do...
I hope it's not jump scares. I don't like those.
No, there won't be any. I didn't even turn off the lights.
Oh, yeah, you didn't.
I'm a fucking pineapple. How scary am I?
I was... Before the show, I said it depends on whether or not you're on a pizza and what your opinion on that is.
Right. I do have an opinion. You know my opinion because we share that opinion.
It's delicious.
Fucking pineapple absolutely belongs on a pizza.
But even if it doesn't, even if you hate it, what does it really fucking people make too big a deal out of it.
Well, also right, because if pumpkin doesn't belong on a pizza, kind of like abortions, you don't have to have one.
Nobody's forcing your ass to eat pumpkin. Pumpkin.
We are definitely not forcing your ass to eat pumpkin pizza.
Which we had last week, which was okay.
No, it wasn't even okay. It was bad until we put a lot of blue cheese on it.
When we put blue cheese on it, it kind of offset,
it did.
It cooled it down and offset the flavor in a way that was palatable.
I actually have a short video of you trying it that I have to now edit into something, so I haven't done that yet.
But no. And again, that's another one of those things. Pumpkin spice is one of those things. You don't like it. Well, nobody's making you eat pumpkin spice. But
exactly,
anyway.
But all right, so aside from scary pineapples and pumpkin spice, tell us about Halloween, Bill. What you got?
Oh, Well, it's my most favorite time of the year, I think.
Me too.
Although I mean, that being said, I have the dilemma, right? Like, because you asked me the other day, like, what are you wearing? And I was like, man,
the cosplayer's dilemma.
Yeah, that whole thing. You know, I got a closet full of goddamn costumes, and then when Halloween rolls around, I'm always like, I just don't know what to do.
That is legitimately why I bought a pineapple hoodie. Because here's the thing, it was cheap.
Yeah.
I wear it today. I can wear it. Well, we're into tiki, right? So it's my casual tiki.
Oh yeah, you can just all winter long you can wear it to tiki events,
right? So it's total.
It's a hoodie and it's tiki.
I'm actually kind of hot.
Yeah,
right
you
now,
probably take the hood off at some point.
No, I'm a pineapple, motherfucker. No, but it is hot. But yes, no, to that end, right? So you're like, I'm gonna wear it.
You mean it's warm to wear. You don't mean it's like sexy pineapple.
No, I'm not at all a sexy pineapple. I'm sure I could
just put a brassiere on over it.
Yeah, like I could. Yeah, absolutely. Wait, I actually have a lacy bra to wear over an outfit from a previous costume that would make zero sense to anybody.
Except it'd be sexy.
All right, do not tempt me, sir. Because I will do this. I will totally be a sexy pineapple.
Do it on Halloween night. Like,
oh, God.
Come up and go, what are you supposed to do?
While I'm handing out candy to trick-or-treaters? Oh, my God. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I could make that work. And I specifically bought a bra that goes over, because the costume it's for.
Oh, it's like a bra that's bigger than
it's too big. Yeah, it's big because it goes over a prison jumpsuit.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because it's from the show. We don't need to get into it.
Okay.
From the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Of course it's from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yeah. Like, do you expect...
Like, you didn't need to say which show. Everybody knew which show it was from.
This is precisely why the cosplayer's dilemma. That's why I don't have anything to wear. Like, I'm going to wear lingerie over a prison jumpsuit. Who the fuck's going to know what I am? That's impossible. No, so I bought a fucking pineapple hoodie.
Right. But you can wear the brassiere over that, and then bam, then it goes up to the next level.
It is.
That's what I'm saying.
Pineapple. Doing that. Right, and I could put on like little little skimpy shorts with, you know, like I could go all out.
Yeah,
I could go all out for it. Yeah, like with a garter and fishnets.
There you go.
And high heels.
Go nuts.
That's it. No.
Why not?
I'm not going to do any of
You're not going to do all that.
But
you could. The point is you could.
So anyway, well, I mean,
the thing is, it sounds like the kind of costume that Yandy would pitch this time of year, right?
That's true. That's absolutely true. Like the kind of costume you would see on like a shelf at Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, because they're out of ideas, especially in the sexy milieu, right? Mm-hmm. Like they're just like I don't fucking man. Sexy trash can, is that a thing? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, you know, so many sexy witches, sexy devils, sexy nurses. Like at some point,
I saw a meme the other day that said everybody's so short-staffed. If you're out being sexy nurse, they're gonna ask you to take a shift.
I saw that. I saw that too. It's brilliant. Also, if you're watching, tell us, what are you dressing up for?
And which sexy costume did you pick?
Yeah. So
I still actually need to go back and see if they still sell sexy French fries from 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
that one was. I was very because that was pertinent to my interest on multiple levels. You know, I do. The only thing that would have been sexier would have been sexy tater tots.
Oh yeah. Especially with the little truffle oil.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine? or sexy tachos.
Oh yeah, well they are. See, tater tots are sexy when they're tachos.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what makes them sexy.
I know. Which is funny because they're wearing more.
That's true.
But it's about, I guess it's about it's not about what you see. It's about, like, sexy tater mix.
Sexy tater mix. I like that our audience is paying attention. You remember a joke we made, like, 6 months ago?
Oh, God. Well, she heard that joke 2 years ago, actually. No, It wasn't a joke. I was actually working at a grocery chain with her, and I was pitching it to the director of frozen foods. Tater mix.
That's right. It was not a joke. Also, Jay, I'm super excited for this. So Jay, of course, our good friend from Michigan who watches the show most of the time And when you don't, we chastise you heavily. He's also a Detroit Lions fan, like I am.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to the game on Sunday, which is the 30th. He's going to put his Michael Myers mask on.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about this.
I'm hoping he gets actual screen time. Like, I
hope he does too. And also, like, I've sent Jay. So me and Jay basically communicate to each other in memes during the week. And I have sent Jay nothing but Michael Myers memes for like a solid 3 weeks.
For sure. Absolutely. No, right after Dragon, because he did a Mike Myers riff on Mike Myers for Dragon Con. And right after Dragon Con for like 2 weeks, I was sending him nothing but Michael Myers.
Yeah. Well, and then, now, because it's October, I just keep getting bombarded with them. And every time I get one, I send it to him. And,
absolutely.
I hope he loves them, because otherwise, or he's like me with the Batman shit.
Yeah.
And like
I'm
one of the 7 people who's sending him the same fucking picture, and he's just like rolling his eyes.
Yeah, I hear you. Folks, if you want to send me things, I love memes, but here are the things don't send me. Sphinx cats?
Mm-hmm.
Please don't send me Sphinx cats. I've seen them.
You saw it?
I've already seen it, I promise. And Tiki. I've already seen it, I promise. Otherwise, I mean, I have a wild and varied interest range, but
okay.
All right, well, good news, Jay has enjoyed that.
All right, great. I must have sent him at least 2 he hadn't seen.
at least. So we don't want to like dig too far into Halloween, because we did a whole Halloween episode on our inaugural.
If you really want to know, go back and watch that one.
And we had some funny shit. In fact, last week, if you watched last week's clips episode, we had a whole clip from that episode.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to watch the whole thing. You already saw part of it.
In fact, I could always just put that clip on YouTube.
You could have made, you could have just made this a clip show from last year.
Just taking up little clips of that. But no, I figured I'm a fucking pineapple. We're gonna do this shit, and I've got some shit.
All right.
So, all right, let's go find somebody to talk about. Who do we want to talk about?
What's the spookiest thing we got?
I don't know. Like,
that one's at least got a picture of a pumpkin in it.
That's true. All right. Well, we do frequently talk about Geek Orthodox.
We do talk about him a lot.
One of our closest friends lives up the street here from me and does really sweet stained glass. Oh, I got a story for you. He was just at New York Comic Con, right? And this here, so you see this Mandoin child? Yeah. Right? He had the original hanging at his booth. Yeah. And somebody fucking bought it.
And it turns out
that was the president of the NASDAQ.
And that's some shit.
Yeah. That's some goddamn
And then shit. I saw today he posted that he had made this big fancy thing for the makers of some game that I can't remember the name of. Sagrada. Yeah. Is that the one where you put the little tiles together?
It makes a stained glass.
Yeah, I played that. Yeah, it's a good game.
It's a calming game. Like it's not super competitive.
Right. No, yeah, but it's not bad to play. It's enjoyable, I would say.
And it's aesthetic. Like, it's just nice. So anyway, you want some stained glass, go check out Geek Orthodox. He also makes t-shirts and things.
That too, yeah.
And of course, the reason we have a pumpkin here is because he did a custom stained glass. It was actually a gift. I had no idea it was coming. Of our stupid cat Toast. That's the one with the stupid look on her face. And our previous cat Piglet, who was much smarter than Toast. In a pumpkin, because we like Halloween. So we like our cats and we like Halloween. So that's
they're Halloween cats.
Yeah, that's
in this instance.
That's the subject that he came up with.
Yeah, so. I just saw the pumpkin. I thought, let's do that one.
No, it's fair. It's fair. All it has a pumpkin. Yeah, those are cool, Abby. Go buy some. Like, do that.
And if you want a custom Halloween themed stained glass window, you could probably talk to him about that too.
Oh God, yeah. He'll take
do it.
Commissions for sure.
You know?
Yeah. All right. While we wait for our Bill Has Pizza, which is really, this is why we do the show now, right?
Just to wait.
Like we know,
we just drink and wait for pizza.
At some point, we know there's pizza coming. So I pulled a bunch of weird questions from the internet to ask you.
Sure.
All right. I don't know if I should go in order or out of order.
Do whatever.
All right. I'm gonna start at the top. Okay. And I might move around, but all right. So I know the answer to the first part of this question, but I want Bill to tell us a story. Do you like scary movies?
I do.
And so tell us, what is the most frightening scene in any movie you've ever seen?
Okay, realistically, it's the lagoon scene from the first Jaws movie. When everybody's over at the beach worrying about the shark, but then it turns out the shark's over in the lagoon and he eats the kid who falls off the little the little sailboat.
Yeah,
because just the view of the shark, when he comes up, and as Quint says in a later scene about how sharks, they got them dead eyes. I don't know, something about it, man. That thing creeped the shit out of me. I'll tell you, so Jaws, oddly enough, is the scariest movie on earth to me. It is the 100. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. But it's kept me out of the ocean for years. Okay, since I saw it at 4 years old, it scared the hell out of me.
Well, there's the problem. Somebody showed it to you when you were 4,
right? Well, I saw a lot of horror movies when I was young because my mom was not terribly discerning about what I watched on TV. And I guess back in the late 70s, they used to just show crazy shit.
Oh yeah, just on television.
Yeah, I saw Carrie. I saw Carrie when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I just watched the whole thing, and that didn't really freak me out. But Jaws freaked me the fuck out because I at the end of the day, because that shit's real. They're actually you could actually get eaten by a shark. Werewolves probably won't get you.
Right.
But the shark will. Maybe. I mean,
it's not like they're were sharks. They're actual real sharks.
They're actual real sharks, and it could happen. So that shit scared the hell out of me. That's the scariest scene in any movie. But I'm going to tell you, because that's on the edge of whether or not you consider Jaws a horror movie.
Sure.
I will give you my second scariest, which is when Regan crab walks down the fucking stairs in The Exorcist.
Yeah, even I've seen
that will make the hair on the back of your neck stand the fuck up.
I like that. I like that your options are the old school movies.
Formative years, man.
Sure.
Although I probably didn't see Exorcist until I was a teenager.
Oh, I didn't see Exorcist until I was 30.
And that scene actually was cut from the original release. I think that was in the director's cut
because it's scary as fuck.
Yeah, because I think they test grouped that in the 70s and decided it was too much. We have to cut this out of the movie.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that they cut out of The Exorcist, out of the long version of The Exorcist, that I'm like, I usually think this about director's cuts. I'm like, sure. I see why all that shit was cut.
Yeah.
But in the case of The Exorcist, there's 2 scenes that were cut because they were too fucking scary for 1970s.
Right.
And they were 100% great scenes. Then there's a whole fucking hour of detective work that honestly could have been left on the cutting room floor. There's my opinion on that.
I'm a pineapple. I'm very proud of my pineapple. It's actually just a hoodie.
It's just a hoodie.
I'm very proud of it though. I love it. So yes, I am a pineapple.
Yeah.
So yes, and
so what is your most frightening scene in any film?
Oh my god, I'm such a scaredy cat. Every scene is the most frightening scene to me. So I will tell you, the one that seared in my mind, and I don't even know that it's really a horror movie to be fair, but when I was a very small child, I watched, or it was on. I didn't watch, but it was on in my house and I saw.
And you walked past, you were in the room.
It was the original Elephant Man. Which I've since done a whole ton of research on the actual Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Joseph Merrick was
John
his name.
Merrick.
John Merrick.
Yeah.
Was his name. And so the poor man was so abused.
Yeah.
But it was the movie
the David
version.
Lynch film.
Yes. No, it wasn't even the David. It was an earlier version.
Oh, it was one before that.
Yeah, I was really little.
Okay.
David Lynch didn't start making movies till I was much older. I was really little. And so it was an earlier version of David Lynch of the Elephant Man. I don't even remember the director. If you can tell me, audience, but it was really early. It would have been something made in the 70s or very early 80s. And I saw a scene in that movie, and then I distinctly remember going to take a shower where I was alone in a tiny room, and all I could imagine was that image. It scared the shit out of me. And I didn't sleep for days after that. And I remember being I was a little kid. And I remember being in the shower screaming for my mother because all I could imagine was that. like this thing. And like, again, I've done research on the real Elephant Man since, partly to face that fear, because he isn't a scary person.
No,
he was an abused person.
Yeah.
So like, I get it, but it just like the image. And I do that with a lot of movies. Like, I've never seen all of Human Centipede.
Yeah.
But Matt watched it once, and I walked in the room and I saw maybe like 10 seconds of it.
Yeah.
And it made me so physically, like, I then went to bed, and it made me so, I was physically sick.
Now, I will say this about that, what you just said. I don't love the two types of horror movies I don't really watch are either torture porn or I also don't like slasher flicks particularly. The torture porn because it's unnerving. It's basically just like medical grossness, right?
Sure. Which is, I mean, yeah, if you've never seen Human Centipede.
And I am squeamish about especially fingers being cut off and stuff like that. That really perturbs me.
Yeah.
Then the slasher I don't watch because it doesn't scare me. I'm not afraid of them. They don't give me the heebie-jeebies. I'm more of a like I like my horror movies to be about the supernatural. I like movies about demons, werewolves, vampires, ghosts, that sort of shit. You know, a good sea monster once in a while. It's got to be something,
but not a shark, like an actual sea, like a kraken,
or did you see? There was a really good movie on Netflix last year called what was it called? Because it didn't have anything to do with the actual like monster. It was called something like Precious or Princess or some shit like that. I don't remember what it was called now. Maybe somebody else will remember. Because it was about this. It was about two different things. It was about this girl. She lands on this desert island by herself, and there's this sea monster that comes up at night. And terrorizes her. And then finally some of her friends wash up, and she tries to tell them about it, and they want to gaslight her.
Right.
And that's what the name of the movie was about, because somebody called her whatever the fuck, some sort of pet name.
I just realized I opened a new beer.
Oh yeah,
it's an Oktoberfest.
Clearly, it's an Oktoberfest.
Yeah, as you can tell by the branding,
by the checker.
But it's a local brewery here, and I didn't talk about it earlier, so I wanted to show it.
Can I have a sip?
Oh yeah,
because it looks delicious.
It is pretty good. It's a pretty standard Oktoberfest.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, go to Eurisco. It's right up the road.
Okay.
Yes, and yeah, because we've talked about it on the show, and we should.
Sweetheart, that's the name of the movie.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. The gaslighting situation.
Yeah, but it's a really good movie. It was on Netflix last year. I don't know if it's still streaming on Netflix now. I want to say it was a made-for-Netflix movie, and most of those suck, but every now and again they drop one that's really good.
No, I mean Netflix has a budget. They have a budget.
Yeah, they do have a budget, but a lot of their horror movies are terrible. Like they're honestly. So here's what most of them have this like they're really good for the first 15, 20 minutes. And then they suffer from what I call second act failure, which is the second act becomes very talky and slow and plotting.
Right.
And by the time we get to the third act, when the horror comes back around,
right,
I'm already asleep.
right, exactly.
And so I don't even see it, and I don't care.
They're the kind of movies that would end up being spoofed on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Probably.
Like there was one, I can't even remember what the name was. So it was a Mystery Science Theater movie, so I knew that it wasn't going to be good. But it was like called The Creature of Something. And most of the way through the movie, we had never seen the creature. And I'm like, look, I've been here for 45 minutes.
And I haven't seen a creature
yet. I have
not
seen a single creature.
Yeah.
No, and I get because it was within the context of MST3K, so it was funny. But like still, if I had watched that original movie, which also nobody would have done.
Without commentary,
I would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to skip ahead a little bit.
All right, do it.
So that we have, because right now we've literally spent 15 minutes on one question.
Yeah.
A trick-or-treating story. What is your favorite trick-or-treating story? Did you go door to door and ask for candy and costume? And what was your favorite trick-or-treating experience?
I remember when I was probably 16 or 17. I don't remember. Me and my friend Doug, we were still trick-or-treating. We learned this about it. If you're going to trick-or-treat as teenagers, the best thing to do is wait until about 7:30 to start.
Sure.
Because then people will actually, instead of being like deriding you, like, hey, why aren't you too old for trick-or-treating? they were like, glad to see you because they still had a bowl full of candy.
Right. And the littles were already
were gone.
Yeah.
And they were thinking, I'm going to have to eat this fucking bowl of candy myself. So if you came around later, we sorted this out, at some point, and this became our plan. So we go out later, right after sundown, we start. That's when we leave, at sundown. And then we make the rounds.
Yeah.
So we were doing that. But we were doing sort of lame fucking costumes. I think I was trying to be a vampire, but really all I did, I wore a cape and I think I put some lipstick on or something. Like I was like, I don't know. I was either a vampire or like the worst goth or something. And then my friend Doug, I don't remember what else. I don't think he did anything. He might have been. He was wearing a vest, but he that might have just been the way he dressed. Like he probably always wore a vest,
right?
But then he put a fake rat tail on. Like he had this like clip on rat tail sticking off of his pants, and when the lady asked him, "What are you supposed to be?" he says in an Irish accent, I'm Sean T. Rat Boy.
Nice. Good. That's quick thinking for like 16 or 17 for sure.
That's his bit. He's Sean T. Rat Boy.
Well, then did he like turn around and show the tail?
Yeah, he did show her the tail. Yes, exactly. Like because that was the only part. That was the only thing that was a costume, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And I think she asked me what I was, and I said I was a vampire or something. But like I said, all I had on was like lipstick and a cape.
Sure, I did. What my sophomore year in high school, I did a Alice Cooper costume.
Yeah.
Where I literally wore a cape and I did the makeup. And
you did the diamonds or
like
whatever.
I even tried because my mother actually really did get into Halloween for years. We had like just a long black wig, but I hate wigs like in a neurodivergent kind of way. Like I literally I can't.
Yeah.
Like the wig is on my head.
Just tickle the fuck out of you.
I just can't. And I remember putting it on because obviously it's more Alice Cooper.
Right.
And I'm like, nope.
No, I can't wear this. Not doing it.
I've got light brown. I mean, I had light brown, long, straight hair anyway. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm not a black hair. I'm light brown.
I'm
Alice Cooper.
Ash Brown Alice Cooper.
Exactly. That's what I is. But my favorite, because all through because I'm with you. I trick-or-treated all through high school. Because I loved it. Yeah. I would still do it today if that were socially acceptable.
Right. People give you shit. You'd be knocking on the door too.
Yeah. And if you're my friend on Facebook, you've seen I had a Danger Mouse costume when I was in 11th grade, which I loved. But honestly, the one that's most memorable is my senior year with a bunch of friends, most of whom are juniors because I was dating a junior at the time. And we all did Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Okay.
So everybody, we all just put together our costumes based on things we had.
Yeah.
Like my friend Dave, we called him Tuco, which is another long story. But Dave, he made a tunic out of a pillowcase.
Yeah.
And we're
easiest thing to make a tunic out
of. For sure. And we're like his mom's pantyhose.
Uh-huh.
And was the horse.
Yeah.
And he just had the coconuts.
Right.
And I was Brave Sir Robin.
Okay.
And all I did was wear my Renaissance Festival outfit.
Yeah.
I
have totally worn my Renaissance. So going back to the cosplayer's dilemma, I've totally worn my Renaissance fair stuff on Halloween because it's less. So the stuff I have for Dragon Con, my cosplay outfits are so elaborate.
And they're usually characters people wouldn't know outside of the context of Dragon Con.
Exactly that. Like it's like some niche fucking sci-fi thing that you're not gonna know. And then secondly, it's so elaborate. Like I got all these accoutrements and shit. Like I'm not gonna be able to sit down and fucking work in it. So I just would
exactly.
Yeah, like I think I did wear Batman to work 1 year. And of course, everybody loved it, but I realized what a pain in the ass it was to try and go to work in a Batman costume.
Right,
like, this is nonsense. I'm never doing this again.
Not one.
And then after that, everybody was like, "Oh, Bill's gonna bring it." And I'm like, "Bill's not gonna bring it. Bill's gonna leave it at home."
Exactly. I did work when I was working in an office. I was the only person that would dress up for Halloween, and 1 year I came in and I just had just a regular purple sweater, like a sweater I would wear normally.
Yeah.
But I had a Dragon Con skirt from a steampunk costume I had before that was the high-low skirt, the really ruffly, and it was high in the front and low in the back.
Right.
It was really ruffly. So I had the purple sweater, purple tights, the boots I wore with that costume, which were like velvet boots that had like a lot of straps, so it looked like. And then I bought a tiny witch hat.
Okay.
And that was my entire costume.
Oh, like a fascinator witch hat.
Yeah, like tiny witch hat. Yeah. And that was my entire costume. And then one year I wore like a regular work outfit, but it was all pink. It was like a pink turtleneck and a pink skirt, like a pink knit skirt. And then I had a unicorn headband. I'm like, I'm a unicorn, motherfuckers. Like, that's what I am. So, like, work was definitely different than Dragon Con.
Totes,
like those are totally different experiences.
Right. Yeah.
For sure. All right. Okay, let's get into some spooky stuff here.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, wait, before that, let's do this one. This is still Halloween costume, which could apply to Halloween or Dragon Con. If you have a dream Halloween costume or cosplay, if you could hire like a professional makeup artist or designer or
oh wow, okay.
Like what's your dream costume?
Damn. Huh. That's a tough question.
It might be one we'd like think about for a year and talk about it the Dragon Con episode next year.
Yeah,
no, it's weird because I think it's actually different as cosplayers than as like a regular Halloween.
For sure,
people.
yeah, absolutely.
Because like if I have an idea for a costume, I'm gonna just do it.
Right,
like, it's just gonna happen.
Probably.
I got costumes for next year.
No, I've got a backlog of things that I won't get to for 6 years, or whatever. I've got stuff that maybe I'll never get to, but I'd like to get to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I've got stuff I've actually bought parts for that I haven't that I've had in a bin for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
That I'll get to eventually, but I don't know when because things keep getting in the way of it.
Right.
So that being said, that's a tough question.
It is.
Shit. Yeah,
one I've never done for years and I've always wanted to do. My favorite movie of all time, as you know, because you came to my birthday party this year.
Oh yeah.
Is The Last Unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite character of all time in The Last Unicorn is Molly Grew. So I actually have a Molly Grew costume like all assembled in a wish list, and I've never bought it. I would love to do Molly Grew.
Okay, so you're saying this is like if money were no object kind of thing.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, nice. Imperial Stormtrooper first.
Snowtrooper even.
Snowtrooper even. Yes.
Yeah, but to wear when shoveling snow.
just for the memeability of that,
right? Just to go out and shovel snow in,
for sure.
That's funny as hell. Oh gosh, yeah, dog. That's nuts, and I don't.
Yeah, pineapple.
I don't really know how to.
No, we could think about this for like a year.
I will have to. Sorry, you have to get back to you on that.
That's fine. All right, let's get into some spooky.
Let's do it.
Spooky subjects. Have you ever played with a Ouija board?
No.
I also have not.
Not because I'm not scared of it, because I don't even believe in it. I think it's a game by Parker Brothers or Milton Bradley or something.
That is like, I'm sure we've talked about this before. Like, I have a hard time believing that Milton Bradley can convene with the
other
side.
Like, yeah, no, I just don't believe in it. I think it's nonsense. And so if I did it, it would be ironic.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
Be doing it ironically.
I think that would be the case.
I would do it. You know what? I would do it with kids living at my house to scare the fuck out of them.
Oh, right. And then you move the
I would move the plantain around and
die.
The plantain. I would move the plantain around.
I dare you to use a plantain.
It'd be delicious.
You got a little plantain. Yes.
No, the planchette.
Yeah.
I would move it around and it would say horrible things like you will die. And then oh God. Speaking of, so did I tell you about I got a Halloween decoration I keep in the basement.
I don't know if we've ever told the story on the show. I've heard this story.
You've heard this story. I've got a Halloween decoration that's in the basement. It's a spooky ghost. It's like this lady ghost with like dark eyes, and it's very creepy. Okay, like it scared me a time or two, and then I got over it. Like now I walk past it every night, going down there to the basement to get something. I just walk past. I walk underneath it. I don't even care. But last Halloween I bought it and I hung it up down there. And at some point my grandson opened. I don't know, like the basement door was cracked or something. This is the door to the stairwell to the basement.
Right.
There's a door at both ends. Anyway, he looks down there and he sees it and he's mortified and he cried and cried, and anyway, he admonished me for having purchased such a thing and And I took it down and I assured him that I had thrown it away and gotten rid of it. And then at some point over the summer, he comes to me and he says, "Hey, if you want to get more Halloween decorations, that's okay. I'm not scared of that kind of stuff anymore."
Oh, okay.
And so I said, "Okay, great." So I retrieved the ghost from the hole that I had it stored in, and I hung it back in the cellar stairwell.
Nice.
And he's back to being kind of. So here's the thing. I've realized this. He's a spooky kid.
Right.
The spooky kids are like this. They're scared, but they're also sort of very curious.
Uh-huh.
So he keeps looking at it and he likes to talk about it a lot, and he likes to get other people to open the door so you can kind of peep at it for a minute. But if you open the door all the way, then he gets freaked the fuck out and he runs away.
Right.
So anyway, that's
he's still a small child. He's in school now, but he's a very small child.
He's 4.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, by 6, he'll be over that fucking ghost and he'll be like, "Hey, let's watch some horror movies." That's
what you're aiming for. You're come watch horror movies with me, kid.
He's okay. He like I say, he's a spooky kid, but I get spooky because I was that way too when I was his age. There were things that would creep me out, but I was also like, you're kind of titillated by the idea, like.
Right. Right.
My mother was a nurse and she had all these like medical journals and things in the house. And I used to, it's gonna make a point in a minute. I love to open them up and flip through them because there would be skeletons in them, which skeletons creeped me the fuck out when I was a child. But I would still I liked looking at pictures of skeletons for some fucking reason. Like it scared me, but at the same time, gave me some sort of thrill, right?
Right.
Like maybe I'm not supposed to do this, and he's totally that way. Like I'm not supposed to do this, and this scares me, but at the same time, I kind of dig it. So
no. Honestly, I think cultivate that because I have a lot of latent. I'm still literally afraid of the dark. So if somebody had nurtured some of those things with me, I might not be.
You'd be a lot creepier now.
Might be. All right. Here's a question for you.
All right.
I have a prop.
All right.
Do you believe in psychics?
Not really.
Do you want to know your future?
So, not really believing in it. Yeah, okay. But I will say when I was younger, I used to be of the mindset I didn't want to know because I guess the younger I was, the more I did believe in it. Sure. And I was like, no, I don't really want to know. But now I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the point in my life now where I'm like, yeah, what ifs, So also, I just watched a really cool movie yesterday that had the tarot cards as a plot device in them. The guy did his 3 cards and it clearly told him what was what. Right. And he already knew what was what before he even drew them. Sure. This is the thing. It's kind of like the people who write into Dear Abby, they already know what the problem is. Exactly. They just need to bounce it off of somebody for some reason. They need that kind of validation, if you will. Sure. And I imagine that's probably the case of Tara for most people. But yeah, let's go for it. So I have been reading. So to that end, I also don't really believe in psychics. Okay. Considering this, but I've been reading tarot since I was 18 years old. Right. And what I believe is that there are symbols on the tarot cards. If you learn how to read them, they could it's not psychic. It's just I understand what the cards are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not necessarily psychic. It's that there's a series of cards that will provide you with an answer. Is it the right answer? No, I don't know. That's up to you to interpret. That's in the eye of the beholder, right? Correct. Okay. Also, I have to show you all this real quick. I used to be a tarot card collector. I had 50 decks now. Wow. I had 10 decks. Okay. But I only have one now. And it's the Halloween tarot because it is my favorite. It is pretty cool looking. It's super cool. And there are a lot of reasons. We could have a whole show just on the Halloween tarot deck. That would be not really a Bill Has Opinions, but Laura's going to tell you about a thing. Laura's going to tell you about a thing. Laura explains it all. Laura tells you about a thing. But let's do this here. Right. I'm going to put this deck down in front of Bill here. I'm going to have him cut the deck, and then draw a card. All so, right.
We're going to tell your future, motherfucker. All right, let's do it. What do we got? Ooh, the 5 of Ghosts. Ooh, that's your future. All right, so the 5.
Sorry, is the ghost a thing in regular tarot, or is this a Halloween tarot?
This is a Halloween tarot deck.
What are the ghosts a replacement for?
The ghosts are a replacement for cups. So water, yes. So you obviously have enough of a understanding of real tarot.
That wasn't a thing. Yeah, that was like, what is that? That's not a thing.
So the best part about the Halloween tarot is it's based on the original Rider-Waite deck. So the original tarot deck, which we could do a whole show about tarot, right?
We might as well
at some point. We'll get to maybe next October. We'll do that. So it's based on it. So you'll see if you're a fan of the original tarot, you'll see the art. It's based on it, but it's Halloweened up, right?
Yeah.
And it does that like old school Halloween, like that.
The Bestial or whatever the company is that does like the classic.
All the classic Halloween, yeah, like that, like 20s to 40s Halloween.
Yeah.
So it does that. All right, but here you go. This is I'm gonna have you draw a couple others, but this is your first card. I'm gonna do a 3-card spread.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I figured we were doing.
That's fair. All right. This here, the 5 of Ghost, it's about not fully like looking toward the future, but not understanding the things that you already have. So you've got you can see that there are things in front of you, but you forget that there are things already behind you. All right, so draw the next one for me. We'll give you a whole 3-card spread here. This was our surprise. Ooh, look, your ghosts are strong, man. The 3 of Ghosts, you can see there are the cups here, so it's very clear.
I see.
All right, so in this instance, celebration is in your future. Said like whatever this. So maybe what it is that you're forgetting is not there. Like you're looking toward these other things, but you're forgetting that there's something very important as a part of your life. That thing is going to become a big celebration for you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, draw the next one. Ooh, the King of Pumpkins. Seems to me that this actually represents you a little bit. Pumpkins, if you're familiar with the original tarot deck, they're pentacles or pentagrams.
Okay.
It's the earth. It represents the earth. So cups represents water, and pumpkins represent the earth in this instance. But yeah, so if you lean into this this thing that you're forgetting and you celebrate it, you could have some pretty sweet celebration there. Like you could end up with something really, really cool in the end. Like you're on top of the world. You know your function, you know your purpose, but you just have to not forget to look back at those other things.
Okay.
All right.
Neat. All right.
There we go. We got that. So one of the other favorite things about this deck, I'm going to show it to you in such a way. Hold this here. If you can see, there's a cat on every card. And in this particular deck, the cat is on literally every card.
Okay.
So if you really pay attention, it's the cat's journey the entire way through.
Oh, okay.
The cat always has a thing going on. This is little black cat.
I like the cat he looks very impish too.
Yeah.
So it's a cat, but to me, it especially on the outside of the deck, it looked like an imp.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And to harken back to last week, maybe it's old Greebly Guts.
Could be Greebly Guts.
You know, or Vinegar Tom, one of them guys.
Yeah.
Also, it reminds me a lot of the little imp from that Matt Groening show that's on Netflix, which I don't watch, but but I know there's an imp in it that's voiced by oh gosh, what's the comedian's name? He used to have his own show on MTV that was really funny. My son loves him to death, but I can't remember his name now.
I don't know.
I know a lot. I can tell you a lot about him, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head now. I know. Hannibal Buress was also on his show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Hannibal Buress.
And also that he used to date Rosario Dawson, but I couldn't tell you this guy's name at this point in time.
Yeah, no, you are leading. Like, those are all leading questions, and I should know.
I know everything about this guy.
I actually legit just read a story about the guy who used to date Rosario Dawson. Now I can't remember who it was.
And he's also the voice of that imp on Enchanted. So
yes, but yeah, you are absolutely right. Like, the picture on the back of the tarot deck is the 6 of pumpkins.
Oh yeah.
So you've got a kid dressed up, like it's trick or treating. You get a kid dressed up, and you got the actual cat.
Mm-hmm.
So his story, his narrative is throughout the entire deck, which is one of the reasons I like it, because you can also kind of look at it as the fool's journey, right? So like, yeah, you can look at it. So anyway,
all right.
Tarot would be a totally different.
Okay.
Because I have some insight on tarot reading, so I could give you that. But anyway, I wanted to read your future while we were on this.
Well, there you go. Now you know it. All right. I guess.
All right, we got. We got some time. So to that end, do you think that black cats are bad luck?
Only if you give them milk to drink.
Mm.
And then they puke up.
Well, then then they're just shitting everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Don't do that.
Other than that, no, I don't. I like black cats. One of my favorite cats. I had a black cat that lived to be 22 years old.
Aww.
22 fucking years old. That cat lived to be. It was like, yeah.
He was a familiar.
I guess so. Yeah. I was familiar with her after a couple of years.
Our neighbors have a black cat named Loki, and Loki's he's just a cool fucking cat.
Yeah, I love black cats, and I would have a black cat now, except for that I don't like.
That's
the 2 cats I have happen to not be black. But I would get a black cat again. Like I do like them, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Both of my adult personhood cats. Like, it wasn't like we set out to get a specific color. Mm-hmm. It showed that those were the colors those cats were. And then, we had Piglet for 17 years and Toast is 3. But I would get a black cat. I'm just not, like, I would also just get the cat that comes to me.
Sure, yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's funny. Every now and again, I'll get excited. Like, I'll see some damn thing on the internet, some cat. Like, I remember a couple years ago, I got excited about, I don't know, there was this thing about caracals going around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, because caracals, they're like a medium-sized, they're like a wildcat, but they're like like about the size of a bobcat, maybe.
Yeah. Like ocelot type.
Things. Yeah. Not like the size of a lion or anything, but like you probably still take it in a fight. But
small wildcat.
A small wildcat, but they have pointy ears, like something out of a fucking sci-fi thing. And when they're kittens and they mew, it sounds like a laser beam.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, these things are fucking excellent. I have to have one. And then I looked them up and I found out they were like $10,000 and like the only breeder really is in Russia or some shit. And I was like, well, this seems like a pain in the ass. And then I what am I talking about? Cats are free to a good home. Like, this is nonsense. Like, I can get a cat, anywhere. So anyway, that's always brings me back down. Like, once in a while, I'll see like a fancy breed cat, and I'll think that's nice. And then I look at what they cost, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
And as you know, I'm a fancy breed cat fan.
Yeah.
But my fancy breed cats are 10. There are reasons. You have reasons. Deathly allergic.
I can have any cat. I don't really. So to me, at the end of the day, I'm going to wind up with an American Shorthair because, like, fuck it. Like, who cares? I mean, and currently I have Munchkins, which do cost a little bit more. But essentially, they're American Shorthairs that are short.
Dwarfism.
They're American Shorthair Dachshunds is what they are, right? Like, that's just because my wife was sold a bill of goods that these motherfuckers couldn't get on the counter.
Yeah,
I assure you they can get on the counter.
Oh, no, 100%. Cats are some of the most resourceful animals in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they only don't open the door because they don't have thumbs. They know how the door works.
Oh, Toast can open she'll open a door.
Yeah.
We have 2 doors in our house that don't lock.
Oh.
And
Well,
so she knows how to fucking open
those. But if a door does shut proper, the only reason they're not opening it is because they lack thumbs. Mm. It's not because they don't understand how the door works. I assure you they know how it works.
Yeah, she opens it every time. She knows it's the door that won't lock.
We have cats that can't open the door, but they will annoy you until you open the door. I promise.
That's what they do. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So to that end, do you believe in bad omens? Are there any things that you would say that's probably a thing that I shouldn't do?
Oh gosh, here's the bad omen I believe in is when you're driving and you hear grinding noise in your car. You're good. Yeah, there's going to be money spent in your future.
Yeah, no, I do not.
A squeaking or grinding noise in the car. That's That's a bad omen.
That is a bad omen. That is a bad omen.
That'll give you an idea about how bad omens started right there. Like it probably had a meaning at some point in the past. But yeah.
So I will tell you, I don't normally believe in bad omens. It's not something I normally do, but I had an experience a few years ago that made me question whether it was true. So a few years ago, we hosted a Friday the 13th party here at the house. We had some friends come over, and a couple of friends came. They were like the later group to arrive, and I went to greet because we were all in the backyard. I went to greet them in the driveway, and one of them got out of the car and looked up, and no joke, like on the pole, like the utility pole that's right in front of our house, was an owl. And she looked me dead in the eyes and she said, "Oh, there's an owl. That means someone's going to die." And her husband said, "Don't say that." And then we went on about the party. Didn't think about anything.
Sure.
Monday morning, my mother-in-law passed away.
Goddamn. Okay.
So I don't know that I believe in omens, except that was a crazy ass coincidence.
Right. Yeah.
And I think about it literally every day.
Yeah.
Like every day I think about that. That I love this friend, but she's kind of a stoner. So she kind of said it in that way, right? Like she's like, there's an owl. Someone's going to die. And then we just brushed it off. And then someone died.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm like, fuck. The fucking stoner.
Although I always think here's the thing I'll say, because when I was younger, I used to always think here's the thing I noticed was on Friday the 13th. The same number of bad things happen to you that happen every day.
Oh, for sure.
But you catalog them on Friday the 13th.
Well, right.
Which you don't do on other days.
Well, the funny thing with October 13th, that's true. So it was October. October 13th is my father's birthday. So I was always well aware of, when it was on a Friday, when it wasn't my whole life growing up. But it was his birthday. So it was no other day. Like we didn't assign, especially October 13th, we didn't ascribe a special Friday meaning to it because Friday the 13th obviously can happen any month of the year, but this year it happened to be October and we were hosting a party because of Halloween season, but she didn't die on the 13th, she died on the 16th. Right. But it was literally after this was said
close enough to make you like
it made me think. All right,
it was one of those Arsenio Hall things that make you go
It did. All right, I think our pizza is going to be retrieved.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So let's do, this is a series of questions. Halloween, this or that.
Okay.
All right. Trick or treat.
Treat.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Treat is always good.
Yeah.
Dracula, Frankenstein, or the Wolfman?
Or Batman.
No. Just these three.
I'm making a reference to
I know, the song.
The song that you've got on your playlist.
That's true.
No, Frankenstein.
I was actually toying between all of them. I agree, Frankenstein, because Frankenstein is the victim, people. He's not the monster.
What? Well, the Frankenstein's monster is the victim.
Correct. Yes.
Frankenstein is the monster.
Exactly. This is I've been drinking. I had this motherfucker. It's 10.5.
Yeah.
Yes. The monster is the victim.
Yes.
All right. The Exorcist or The Shining?
The Exorcist.
I agree with that one. Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger?
I told you I don't really love slashers, but I liked Freddy's one-liners, so I'm going to give the point to him.
I was afraid. Well, I didn't, because I don't like horror movies, but there was a Freddy Krueger movie, one of them. I think I was about 17 when it came out because I could finally go see a rated R movie where Alice Cooper played his father. And I don't remember which one it was. But I was a huge Alice Cooper fan, so I went to see it in the theater.
All right.
All right. Michael Myers or Pennywise?
Pennywise and Tim Curry.
I was just going to say that. What Pennywise? Look, I love Bill Skarsgård. I'm a fan, but yeah, Tim Curry's
my Pennywise.
All the way.
I'm sorry.
All the way. Friday the 13th or A Nightmare on Elm Street? I guess this is a rehash of the other question.
Yeah, it's like the same shit, right?
Yeah, no, Nightmare on Elm Street, for sure. Would you rather eat brains or a heart?
Heart, I guess. I've had heart before at the tapas place.
Yeah, I've eaten both, but not human.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose that makes a difference, right?
Street.
You
the hell?
You just asked Siri
didn't ask Siri anything. Like, shut up.
Siri wants us to go find the nearest heart.
No.
Where do we eat heart?
I've had heart. I have not had brains.
I've had sweetbreads.
What did you? Okay. What did you think?
I mean, I wouldn't choose to eat either, to be honest, but I did.
Yeah, I mean, being American, we're not fans of organ meat, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're like, no, if it's not muscle, I don't want to fuck with it.
I do not want it.
I don't want to fuck with it. I've only ever had heart at a tapas place because Europeans will eat any fucking piece of the animal.
It's true.
But that being said, listen, if you don't tell me what it is before I put it in my mouth, I will 100% put it in my mouth.
100%. 100%. I remember my mother told me a story once years ago. She went to like a buffet of some sort with a friend, and this friend was not adventurous. My mother's not adventurous either as far as an eater, but this friend was less adventurous, and she ate something and she's like, wow, this is the most delicious thing I've ever eaten, and found out it was calamari. And then refused to eat any more of it.
Once she knew what it was?
Yeah, but she loved it. I'm like, if you already like it, then fucking eat it. Yeah. Like, just you like calamari now. That's the thing you like.
That's the way they got to do. You know, it's like you didn't learn until you were 8 years old what bologna was made of.
Yeah.
And you were fine with it.
Just lips and assholes.
And then you were like, okay, well, I've already eaten it now. Like, and I know it's delicious. So who gives a shit?
Bologna is just hot dog pancakes.
It is. But either one of those two things. Again, if you were told the first time anyone put a bologna or hot dog in your hand, if you were told this is all lips and assholes, you'd have been like, well, you threw it away. But having eaten it several times and then later on in life, they tell you like, this is all just the shit we scraped off the floor. You're like, whatevs. I don't give a shit. It tastes delicious.
So funny story, complete sidetrack, but we have a minute because our pizza's on its way.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I think I was about 3 or 4 years old, my parents took me to a Detroit Tigers game, and I didn't like hot dogs prior to this moment. And they gave me a fucking hot dog and said, oh, she'll get hungry enough, she'll eat it. I literally, my mom tells a story that at some point in the middle of, like, I tugged on her sleeve, and I handed her the hot dog, and I'd eaten the bun. And there was not a single bite.
Here's this fucking wiener. You can have this back.
I do not want this. This I do not want. So yes, I still don't like.
You still don't like hot dogs.
I do not like hot dogs.
Even like a nice like a kosher beef, like a.
No, I like other types of sausage, but not hot.
But not hot dog. You'll eat bratwurst or.
Yeah, I don't love brat. Like kielbasa is my favorite. Okay. I will eat a bratwurst and I will eat some Italian sausages. Okay, but
you won't go like hot dogs. Like okay.
I'm good. Hot dogs are fine.
All right.
Your lips nestles. All right. What's scarier, your boss or your in-laws?
I'm gonna say boss, I guess. I don't know. I'm
not
really scared of either, but
I only had one in-law. I mean, for all intents
I will say I'm only saying boss because which will you hang out with and which won't you?
That's true. I actually really loved my mother-in-law. She was amazing. And that was the only in-law I ever had. I didn't know.
Well, you got a brother-in-law.
Well, I don't hang out with him. No, we're done with him. We're over that. But I also, although in this particular question, your boss, my boss is me.
Okay.
And you know what? I love my boss.
You're okay.
I'm okay with my boss. Right. My boss is awesome. Yeah. I like my boss. All right. Which is more terrifying? Public speaking in front of 100 people or skydiving?
Skydiving?
100%. I have public spoke in front of over 100 people.
I'm an extrovert, so I don't give a shit. I mean, like that doesn't scare me at all.
I'm not an extrovert, and I've done that, and
I do have a fear of heights, and especially heights I can fall from. It doesn't extend to like the Willis Tower in Chicago. Like I can go there, and I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I'm in a building. I love that. I'm in a building. I don't give a shit. Now, honestly,
I won't even get on a ladder.
On a ladder is different. I've fallen from a ladder. I can't fall from the Willis Tower.
That's true. Well, you could.
I could, but it would take a series of extremely weird events, right?
That's true.
Okay, that's all I'm saying is like the likelihood that I'm going to fall from the Willis Tower is very slim. The likelihood of me falling from a ladder pretty high. And the likelihood of me falling out of a plane if I'm skydiving, 100%.
Oh, what? Yeah, because that's the purpose.
That's the thing.
That's the entire reason.
That's the joke, right? As they say. No, so I'm not. No, yeah, I don't like that.
No,
I would skydive if the plane were wrecking and they said, "Oh, by the way, we have parachutes.
Yeah, I'd probably do that because like either way,
you're gonna die or die.
I'm gonna die or die. Like that's it. Yeah,
you die or you have a chance of dying. And you'd be like, well, I'll take the chance of dying.
I will never do it voluntarily.
Yeah,
ever, and I will say that right now.
Sure, yeah.
If you're gonna want, no, I will never.
But I have two of my stepkids have done it as for fun, and they loved it. And I get, if you're an adrenaline junkie, maybe that's your shit. But
I don't even like roller coasters for the same reason. Like
I like roller coasters, and then I've aged out of I've got to the point now where I haven't I'm too old and I have an inner ear thing, and they're no longer fun. But there was a period between 17 and 32 where I really enjoyed them. I did love them.
So you're like, I'm gonna ride all of them.
Yeah, and now I'm like, I've aged out.
I never liked them. Never ever. Every once in a while I would ride one small one and I would be cool with it, and then I'd want to ride it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Then I would think I got brave and I'd try to ride it the next
bigger
level
one,
up, and I'm like,
nope, never mind.
Nope. Do not like it. Do not like it. All right. That brings us to the end of the episode.
All right.
This has been Halloween with Bill Has Opinions. I didn't mean to post that.
29.
The
old scary 29.
No. Well, it was almost our
secret
countdown.
Number 29.
Maybe it was a secret message. I shouldn't have said anything. I just accidentally clicked on a
take
video.
from 29 what you will.
Yeah, I guess that's an omen. So next week we will be off. And then I have no idea what our first November episode is, but we'll probably talk about a few things.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. We always do.
We have a list
to talk about.
I just don't know what it is. So why don't you? Oh, wait, we got a comment before I make you. Oh, we got an emoji. We got a pumpkin emoji. Thank you. We like the pumpkin emojis. All right. To that end, why don't you take us up?
All right. Bill Has Opinions is introduced by Laura Lavoie, who's also a pineapple. The opinions of Bill are his and his alone, unless Laura agreed with them, like the one about the skydiving.
Oh yeah.
And otherwise, they're and they don't have anything to do with our sponsor, who had no say in this at all. Didn't even ask us to be a sponsor, really. So it's all whatever. And then let's see. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Be sure to hashtag Opinion Gang if you say anything to us, so we'll see it, or also it'll trend. I don't know, maybe.
Something.
Yeah, I don't know. Something will happen.
We would like that to happen.
Wouldn't that be funny if that just trended one day?
Pineapple. Look at pineapple emoji.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And be sure to catch us again 2 weeks from now on the same time. We'll be back with another exciting episode. We'll talk about something new that we don't remember what it was, but we'll have new beers and new things to talk about, and we'll see you all there. And anyway, have a good happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Woo!